Austin Theory finally cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase, only to one, get freaked up by two different wrestlers, and two, losing the match, the United States Championship match. Welcome back to another episode of Wrestle Capsule, where you're going to be getting your weekly dose of pro wrestling talk. And I'm your host, B. So welcome back to the show. So I did watch Raw, guys. I checked it out, and there's some things we need to talk about. There's quite a few things that we need to talk about, and of course, per usual, I'm going to highlight the stuff I want to highlight, the stuff that I deemed as super interesting and worth mentioning on the Wrestle Capsule show. So let's just get right into it. So the first match I want to talk to you guys about, or should I say the segment that I first want to talk to you guys about, is the segment with the New Day and the Usos. A lot of mercy. Where do I begin? This segment between the New Day and the Usos was so rich. Like, it was pure gold. It was so good. These two have such history. These two groups have such a strong history in the WWE. It's insane, and both of them came with the realness in this promo. It was super real. You got the New Day talking about how they've been through hell and back trying to build themselves up. Their first generation superstars. They didn't have no uncle, no daddy, no cousin, no sister, cousin, uncles, mommies, twice removed, kind of bring them into the business. They had to do this on their own. People were taking them for a joke. They're taking their group for a joke when it first came out, and now people reverence and love the New Day, respect the New Day. They have had to prove themselves time and time again, sitting back and catering, waiting to get on TV, like all this real junk, and I'm just like like, I was like, it's just getting real. And then on the other side, you got the Usos acknowledging the fact that they've come from a rich wrestling family. And I don't mean rich as in like, rich family that is just like all about pro wrestling. This legacy of the Usos family members, their dad, their uncle, like cousin, like all of this. They acknowledge that. And they also acknowledge the fact that they have been put, there's pressure on them. There has been pressure on them to be the best based off of where they come from, based off their family's success. It was so good. Xavier Woods took reins on that whole entire situation from the New Day side. And I enjoyed that segment so freaking much. But of course, freaking Matt Riddle has to come in and interrupt stuff. Now, it was okay for the New Day to interrupt the Usos because they have this humongous match on SmackDown this week for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Like, I get that. But Matt Riddle coming out of nowhere, coming out with the freaking bongos, one of them people, the hit his bong. I'm like, stop it. We get it. The innuendo with the weed and the bong and the instrument. Like, we get it. Matt, we love you. Well, I'll speak for myself. Matt, I love you, okay? But you need to stop with the interrupting, okay? Because it's getting on my nerves, and you're messing up something juicy here. You're messing up something good here. And I hate the way that they introduced the 6-man tag team match. Having Jay, of course Jay don't like nobody. And he didn't want to hit Riddle's bong. And because of that, Riddle suggested that they have a 6-man tag team match where he teams up with the New Day, and it's versus them and the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Like, that's how, like, that gave me a little bit of like PTSD at one point, a little bit of traumatization, because I'm just like, this reminds me of Vince McMahon, the way he would introduce matches like that. I would hate it. I would hate the formula that he would use. He'd been using it for years. I thought that when Vince McMahon retired and went on his merry way, that we would not have to see this formula anymore. But I was all sorts of wrong. And it just ruined the segment for me. It was something good. It's like, handing to them the perfect recipe or the perfect cake and then just throwing it on the floor, and then on top of that stumping on it and then taking a fart on it. That's what I got from that. And maybe I'm a little team too much with it, but that's just how I feel. And I'm not pissing on the 6-man tag team match itself, because that was great. Like, whenever you have the New Day and the Usos in a match, it's gonna be awesome. And then of course you got Solo the Enforcer, and he's been on fire, especially since he got on the main roster. And then Matt Riddle, he can wrestle anybody, it'll be good. So I mean, the match in of itself was great, but the leading up to it, like the introduction to the match, I was just like, this is what we're doing. I thought that Finn Balor was going to challenge Seth freaking Rollins for the United States Championship, because Seth is having this open challenge, and he's like, anybody in the back want to have a match with me for this belt? Like, I was like, oh shoot, because the Judgment Day came out, but then the OC came out, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And that was so funny. I love how Seth freaking Rollins, as you have the OC and Judgment Day squaring off in the ring, and then Seth freaking Rollins is in the middle. This has nothing to do with him, so he's just like, let me just take a step back. I was not expecting Mia Yim to be under that hoodie. I was just like, no way, no freaking way. I was so excited. I was more excited than the audience that was in Wilkes-Barre. I was just like, well, come on, y'all. Are y'all kidding me? Do you not know who she is? It was like, the reaction was kind of trash. It really was. I was so excited to see her back in WWE, because I know that she had left. She was in Impact for a little bit, and then I know when she ended her contract with Impact, I was just like, I mean, it's the only thing. I knew she wasn't going to AEW, even though her husband's there. I was like, I know that she's not going to AEW. To see her on Raw, I was so happy. And for her to team up with the OC, and the way she was freaking Rhea Ripley up with that kendo stick. I know originally I was like, I want Nikki Cross to team up with the OC, but apparently Nikki Cross has her hands tied. She's busy with Damage Control at this point, helping him out, being their little enforcer or whatever. That whole situation with Damage Control, that segment with Damage Control and Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss was so funny. And the reason why it was funny, and I'm just specifically talking about that part where Iyo Sky and Asuka were squaring off, and they were just like cursing each other out, talking smack in Japanese. Didn't know what they were saying. But I felt it, and it was so funny. Asuka was going in. Iyo was getting offended. And it got to the point where she was like, bitch. I was not expecting her to call out her name like that. To hear Bianca Belair say that this is war, and at Survivor Series War Games, this is where it's gonna end. Just like, oh shoot, and they brawling, and I'm just like, I'm loving every minute of it. I thought the 24/7 championship was dead and gone. That's what I thought, but apparently not. Dana Brooke still had it and had her match against Nikki Cross for the 24/7 championship, only for her to get beat up and freaked up. So now Nikki Cross is the 24/7 championship, but she don't give a darn about that. She just want to freak people up. And then Damage Control is like walking like 10 feet behind her, and then Bailey kind of like softly putting the championship over Nikki Cross's shoulder, but trying to keep her distance because Nikki crazy, and she up there looking and talking to herself and be like, being like, I love it. She's in full form now. Like, it's been transitioning throughout these past Raws, and now it's like in full form at this point. And the backstage segment after that was really funny because Nikki Cross is all up in the moon and the stars, trying to name all the stars in the sky, and then she like throws down the 24/7 championship like she didn't care about it. And I was like, that sounded like that broke. It sounded like some gold broke. I love the fact that she did that because she don't care about that belt. I'm pretty sure Triple H don't care about that belt. I don't care about that belt. Nobody cares about that belt. So it died with Nikki Cross, and I'm okay with that. Yo, that main event was cray. Oh my God. I know Bobby's pissed, especially what happened at Crown Jewel. And then even before that, Brock Lesnar costing Bobby the championship against Seth Rollins, and now Seth Rollins is the United States champion. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So for him to come out and the bell didn't even ring and Bobby was already freaking upset freaking Rollins, and I was just like, he about to win this belt back. I was like, he about to become United States champion again. Let them fight. Austin Theory comes out. I was just like, boy, you done already won your match earlier in the night against Shelton Benjamin. By the way, that match was short, but that match was good. Like, Shelton moves so well. He's so technical. He is so talented. I keep forgetting that this man is almost 50. I think he's like 47 right now. He's almost 50 and he still moves like he's super young. So it definitely showcased Shelton's talent as well as Austin Theory. So he won that match against Shelton Benjamin, and then you gonna come out for seconds trying to cash in. Austin Theory finally cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase, only to one, get freaked up by two different wrestlers, and two, losing the match, the United States Championship match. Austin Theory, I thought he was going to win because he was pinning Seth freaking Rollins for the 1, 2, 3. Bobby pulls the referee out of the ring and he gets freaked up. These twists and turns, I cannot stay in my seat right now. And Seth is such a trooper, and he was still able to beat Austin Theory for the 1, 2, 3 to retain the United States Championship. That was good TV. That was good TV, man. It really was. You guys smell that? I don't know about you, but I smell a triple threat match between Seth freaking Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory. I feel like that would be the next move. I would love to see all three of these. That would be a definite dynamic triple threat match for the United States Championship. Oh, that would be good. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Thank you so much for watching. Also, let me know what you thought about this Raw. Like, there was some good stuff and there was some other stuff I was just like, okay. Like that whole match, I think it was Baron Corbin versus Cedric Alexander. I mean, it was great to see Cedric. I mean, we barely see him now. I remember with the whole Hurt business, him, Shelton, and Bobby Lashley and MVP, that whole thing, that was dope. But after that, they kind of disbanded and you barely saw either of them. So it was dope to see Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander on the same show, even though they weren't having a match with one another. But that match was a squash match, and it was just to put over Baron Corbin. But yeah, like, you guys let me know what you thought about Raw. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more episodes. Thank you again, guys, for watching. Signing off. Bye.